All right, welcome. For the last 8 modules, we've been the architects, talking strategy and drawing up the blueprints for cloud independence. But today, we're getting our hands dirty, we are opening up the toolbox and showing you the exact open source tools you need to build your stack and claim your cloud freedom.
Okay, before we start hammering away, we've got to cover the important legal stuff. This is the final module of our 9-part series. All the info here is based on comprehensive research from Virtualization Options LLC. Just remember, this is for general guidance, okay? It is not, and I repeat, not a substitute for real legal advice. You should always work with competent legal counsel.
Okay, let's do this. The strategic groundwork has been laid. Now it's time to actually build the thing. This explainer is all about the how, the specific, battle-tested tools that make cloud freedom a reality. We are going to put together a portable, cloud-agnostic stack, piece by piece, layer by essential layer.
So every solid house needs a solid foundation, right? Well, in the cloud, that foundation is what we call infrastructure as code, or IAC. It just means you define all your servers, your networks, your storage, everything in code files. This gives you a portable, repeatable blueprint that you can deploy literally anywhere, making it the absolute first layer of our stack.
So this chart lays out your main choices for that foundation. Terraform is pretty much the industry standard for creating one blueprint that works across all the big clouds. But check out that best 4 column. Maybe your team is full of Python or TypeScript wizards who'd rather write actual code instead of config files. Well, then Pulumi is your go-to. And for automating what goes on that infrastructure, for those complex software deployments, Ansible is an absolute powerhouse.
So you've got your infrastructure blueprint all coded up. The foundation is poured and set. But, a foundation isn't much use by itself. So that leads to the next big question: where are your applications actually going to live and run?
And the answer, my friends, is containers. Containerization, especially when it's managed by an orchestrator, is the great liberator for your applications. It's like you package your code and all its little dependencies into a neat box that can run exactly the same on your laptop, in your own data center, or on any cloud provider you want. It completely separates your app from the hardware underneath.
This table really breaks down the ecosystem perfectly. I want you to think of Kubernetes as the universal operating system for all your containers. It's the standard, period. Now, if you're a big organization that needs extra security and developer tools right out of the box, OpenShift builds this amazing enterprise-ready platform on top of Kubernetes. And to manage all the apps running on Kubernetes, Helm is your package manager. It's like the App Store for Kubernetes, making complex stuff simple.
Okay, so your applications are happily running in their little portable container boxes. That's great, but in today's world of microservices, apps are broken down into tons of small, independent pieces. They aren't living in a vacuum. They have to talk to each other constantly. So how do you manage that incredibly complex web of traffic?
That's where this next layer comes in, the service mesh. It is a dedicated infrastructure layer that's built to handle all of that service-to-service communication. It takes care of traffic routing, security, and seeing what's going on between your microservices. And the best part? You don't have to change a single line of your application code. It's like having a smart, invisible traffic cop for all your apps.
Your choice here really boils down to your priorities. If you need the whole shebang, super advanced traffic control, deep visibility, then Istio is the feature-rich, comprehensive choice. But if you're all about simplicity and raw performance, Linkerd is a fantastic, lightweight option. And it's really important to know about Envoy. It's a super fast proxy, basically the engine that powers many of these service meshes under the hood.
Okay, so we've built the foundation. Our apps are running, and they're all connected. The system is live. But what happens when something goes wrong? How do you actually see what's happening deep inside this complex distributed machine? How do you find that one needle in a giant haystack?
And that question brings us to our visibility layer. You've got to have a way to understand the health and performance of your system. A cloud-agnostic observability stack gives you the power to collect all the metrics, logs, and traces from every service, no matter which cloud they happen to be running on.
And this is the dream right here. A single pane of glass, a unified dashboard where you can see everything at once, connect the dots between events, and figure out what's wrong in seconds, even if your app is spread across multiple clouds. This is what real visibility looks like.
The open source community gives us a powerful trio to achieve this. Prometheus is the workhorse. It's the thing that collects all your performance metrics. But numbers are just numbers until you can see them, and that's where Grafana comes in. It turns all that Prometheus data into beautiful, actionable dashboards. And for debugging?
When you really need to follow a single request as it bounces through your entire system, tracing tools like Jaeger or Zipkin are absolutely essential.
So, let's recap. Your stack is built, it's running, it's all connected, and you have perfect visibility into it. You've built an incredibly powerful system. But, have we covered the most important layer of all? Is it actually secure?
Look, security can never be an afterthought. It just can't. To be truly cloud agnostic, you need a security layer that works the same everywhere. That means managing your secrets, passwords, API keys, and enforcing your security policies in a uniform way, regardless of which cloud provider you're on today.
And this image just says it all, doesn't it? You can't be free if somebody else is holding the keys. True cloud independence means you take control of your own security. You centralize it, and you make sure it's enforced consistently, everywhere you operate. No exceptions.
The trick here is using tools that centralize your security posture. For managing all your sensitive data like API keys and passwords, HashiCorp Vault is the gold standard. Inside Kubernetes, Cert Manager is a lifesaver that automates the painful task of handling TLS certificates. And for setting the rules of the road, Open Policy Agent lets you write security policies as code, like never allow a container to run as root, and then enforce those rules across your entire stack.
Okay, let's just pause and appreciate what we've done. We've built an incredible foundation. It's portable, it's visible, and it's secure. Now that the hard work is done and the fundamentals are solid, how do we use this newfound freedom to really innovate and move faster?
Now we get to embrace the power of serverless. But here's the kicker. We can do it on our terms. Instead of getting locked into a specific provider's functions as a service platform, like AWS Lambda, we can use open source frameworks to get all those awesome serverless benefits, but running on our own portable Kubernetes foundation.
Here are your main options for doing serverless the portable way. Knative is this super powerful platform that adds a rich serverless experience right on top of any Kubernetes cluster you have. OpenFOSS, on the other hand, really prioritizes simplicity, letting you turn basically any standard container into a serverless function. And Apache OpenWhisk is another great flexible platform. The goal for all three is exactly the same. Give you that just right code and forget the server's convenience, but without the vendor lock-in. And there it is. We just built a complete end-to-end cloud-agnostic stack. Let's run through it one last time. We build with Terraform, we run with Kubernetes, we connect with Istio, we see what's going on with Prometheus and Grafana, we secure everything with Vault, and we innovate on top of it all with Native. This right here, this is your toolkit for cloud freedom.
So the question is no longer, is cloud freedom possible? We've just seen the tools to make it happen. The real question is for you. Look at your own environment, your own applications, your own pain points. Which part of your stack are you going to set free first?